Hey there, extraordinary treasurers. This topic is a bit complicated, but the good news is even if you don't totally understand how it works, you can still do it correctly, and it will give your church board peace of mind. If you were to compare Jewel's ending balance and the ending balance of the bank statement at the end of any given month, you'd notice that they do not exactly match. In fact, the difference is often in the thousands of dollars. Because of this, the board can't just look at Jewel and look at the statement and verify that Jewel is accurate. The example you're looking at is real, a real church ending balance and a real bank statement ending balance as of the same day. Notice it's over $11,000 different. This difference can be really confusing unless you understand that the deposits and the checks for Jewel's September and the deposits and checks for the bank's September can be very different. Let me explain it this way. Jewel's September check report tells you what checks you wrote in September, while the bank's September statement tells you which of those checks actually cleared your bank in September, which is not the same. Some checks you wrote in September don't get cashed until October or even later. So to Jewel, the money is gone from the ending balance as soon as you write the check, before it's mailed or received or cashed. And even if you never mail it and it's sitting in your drawer, Jewel counts it as gone. But the bank doesn't consider it gone until the business or individual cashes or deposits a check and the money is actually, well, gone. So there can be a considerable lag time between Jewel considering it gone and it actually being gone from your bank. There's a lag time with deposits too. Jewel's September deposit report tells you what offerings were donated in September, while the bank's September statement tells you what offerings were actually deposited in September. So the September 30 offering shows up on the September Jewel deposit report, but it won't show up on the bank statement until October because that's when it was actually deposited. So that is why your Jewel financial summary ending balance and your bank statement ending balance are never going to be exactly the same at any one point. But your board needs to know that Jewel and the bank are on the same page. So to fix this lag time problem, ensuring that bank account numbers are accurate, Jewel produces a bank rec report every time you reconcile. And this report produces a number called the adjusted bank balance. You'll find it at the very bottom of every bank rec report that you print out right after you reconcile. It'll be a number along with a date that tells you exactly when that number is valid. On this report, the adjusted bank balance for September 30, 2020 is $234,753.75. I have edited this bank rec report so it fits on the page, but all the major ingredients are there. So let's zoom in and see what goes into computing this adjusted bank balance number. It starts with the beginning balance for the month, circled in red. I took an actual clip from the bank statement and put it just above it so you can see that their beginning balances are the same. $249,845.75, and I can see that I should have chosen a church without quite so much money in it. Next, the deposits that cleared the bank in September are added in, and the checks that cleared in September are subtracted to create the cleared ending balance. And again, you can see the Jewel and the bank statement are in total agreement here. Both have the very same ending balance. So far, so good. But the bank rec report doesn't stop there. The report now has to take into account that lag time issue. All of the deposits that are in Jewel that did not get to the bank until after September closed are called uncleared deposits. And all the checks that are in Jewel but have not been cashed yet are called uncleared checks. And you can see them circled here. The uncleared deposits are added, the uncleared checks are subtracted, and you end up with, drum roll please, the adjusted bank balance as of September 30, 2020. It's always the last line at the bottom of every printed bank rec report. Notice that the uncleared items are just as important as the cleared items when it comes to computing the adjusted bank balance. Some treasurers have thought that it was bad to have uncleared items, but it's not. So some of you may be thinking, So what? Remember that I told you at the beginning that the Jewel ending balance and the bank ending balance will never match? But if you followed proper sequence in Jewel, the adjusted bank balance that's on the September Bank Rec report will match the ending balance on the September financial summary, both $234,753.75. And even if you don't understand how it works or why it works, I can help you make sure that they do match. Because when these two numbers match, it shows a direct tie between Jewel's ending balance and the bank's ending balance. And it is evidence to your board that your Jewel bank balance is accurate to the penny. And that is peace of mind for them and for you. Now, if they don't match, it's not because of a math error. It's usually because correct sequence through the month has not been followed. Think of it this way. When you reconcile and print the Bank Rec report, that report creates a snapshot, as it were, showing your church's financial picture at the very moment that the reconciliation was completed. You print it out, and there it is, frozen in time, in paper and ink. Just like this photo of me when I was a toddler with a group of my relatives. I'm the littlest one with all the curly hair. Now, the bank statement is supposed to be reconciled after all the deposits and checks for the month have been entered, including the remittance check. But if you reconcile too soon, before you remit, or before you finish writing your checks or entering all your deposits, your remittance report snapshot might look like this instead of like this. See how much smaller it is? There are uncleared checks and deposits that are missing, and those missing checks and deposits change the adjusted bank balance. It's like taking a family photo at the same family reunion, but you take it before everyone has arrived. Then later you're thinking, where are Grandma and Grandpa, and Uncle Tom and Aunt Myrtle? Why aren't they in the picture? Well, the photo was taken before they got there, so they don't magically appear in the photo just because they did arrive later. The photo was taken too soon. On a somewhat unrelated side note, my Aunt Myrtle is real, grew up to be a conference auditor, and she played a large role in the creation and development of the Jewel church accounting software. So listen carefully. If you reconcile and print the bank report too soon as well, the deposits and checks you enter afterwards will be missing from your Bank Rec report, and your adjusted bank balance won't match your Jewel ending balance. Notice that the one on the left was reconciled too soon has only 3 uncleared checks instead of 11, and no uncleared deposits because they were entered after the Bank Rec was finished. So that is why it is not only important to reconcile, but to reconcile in the right order. There are 6 tips you need to know if you want to master Bank Recs, and they are coming up in the next video.